welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. So as promised, here is my final review on the Huion GT-185 tablet that I recently unboxed. If you want to see that unboxing video, I'll have a link down below. But basically, I've had, it's been about 2 weeks since that last video, so I've had about 2 weeks to play around with it. I've had plenty of jobs, and I've just been using it like crazy. Now, before we get into this, I do want to say that before I was using the Wacom tablet, I'll actually show you guys. So before I was actually using this guy right here, and I didn't get a lot of use out of it. I just found like it was a huge learning curve for using it with your computer and it not being directly on the computer. I don't know if it's just I played around with a lot of Apple products and drawing on there that like getting used to drawing on here was just a little bit much for me. I still used it regularly when I painted, and I was starting to get used to it even more, but I just find that for me, like, this just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Like, it did help, but I didn't need it per se. Like, I totally could have continued going on my trackpad, but I did want to get a second monitor anyway, and when I saw the Huion tablet and that it was pretty relatively like decently priced, I thought, do you know what, I'm just gonna try it out. Like, it would be nice to have something that I can draw right on and also have the option to have a second screen. So yeah, so here's my review. So I'm actually going to go with the negatives first. I know usually people go with the positives and then the negatives, but it doesn't really matter, does it? First thing that I noticed was when I was setting it up, it got a little bit confusing. So basically they tell you to download the latest software directly on their website, which I totally did. I followed all the instructions. I even looked at other people's videos of installing just to make sure, because I have always messed things up in the past, so I wanted to make sure that I really got this right. And even then, like, it got super confusing, and I thought, oh, this should be super easy and super simple, since other people were saying that it was super easy and super simple. But it did take a little bit of try. I did have a glass of wine with it, so maybe it wasn't that hard. Or maybe it was the wine. I don't know. But the initial install did take a little bit of time. I would say it took about like an hour. So if you think that you can just take it out of the package and use it right away, it does take quite a bit of setup in that sense. And I also didn't think that there was going to be that many cords, and the cords are like thick. So if I plan on traveling with it, like say if I have to go back to where I grew up and stuff, it's going to be kind of hard to take all those cords. Like, it's not a big deal, but there is quite a lot of cords, because you also think about you have to plug in your pen as well. So you have to charge your pen and you have to charge it through your computer because it has like a little USB. So that kind of was a little bit of a drawback for me. Another big issue that I have with it is the pen, for some reason, gives me so much grief. So sometimes it'll work and sometimes it won't. So basically I will start drawing, then all of a sudden it's drawing on my laptop, even though I want it to be on the other screen. So I have to actually go into the manual settings and figure things out. A couple people said to reinstall the software that was on the website, and I've done that a couple times and it's still the same. So I don't know if I just got kind of like a weird, like, if I'm doing something wrong. I've Googled it. I don't really know exactly. I haven't contacted Huion. I heard their customer service is actually really great. I just haven't had, not really the time, but I don't really want to bother, because I do get it working after 10 to 15 minutes, but again, it's 10-15 minutes I could be spending drawing. So that's one of the drawbacks. But other than that, it's actually been super great. Recently my business has really picked up, so even just having it as a second monitor has been amazing. At first I thought that it was kind of low quality, but it was just because I had the film on it. The film really does kind of make a difference in the quality. Like, it's not the greatest quality still. I'm sure if I was to spring for the HD one, I think it'd be a little bit different. Since I just got the basic bare minimum, the 185, I think if you do get the higher quality ones, I think it's a little bit different. But other than that, like, it wasn't that bad. Oh, one more drawback before I forget. I did notice that it kind of messes up the sound on my laptop. So when I'm drawing or when I'm working, I regularly listen to like my Spotify and or watch YouTube videos on the side of my screen. And I noticed that for some reason it doesn't play any sound. Like, it won't let me play any sound, which I thought was kind of weird. Luckily, I have a Bluetooth speaker, so I am able just to Bluetooth it out to my speaker so I can still listen to music, but it's kind of a little bit of a drawback. So if I didn't have my Bluetooth speaker, that's something that I kind of would have been too impressed about. Again, I don't know if it's maybe just a software thing that's the issue, but that is one thing that I noticed. So if you are looking to get one and you regularly listen to music on your computer, I don't know. Again, I don't know if this is something that is just their problem with the software, but I don't know. The side keys, once I get them working, they're awesome. But again, it's kind of like the pen, where it sometimes works and it sometimes doesn't work. So I thought that was it kind of sucks, because when you're in the middle of drawing, I kind of have to reach for my keyboard. Not a huge deal, I'm kind of used to that. But it was just kind of like well, why is it there and it's not working? That's been kind of my only drawback. The drawing experience on it is actually really great. I have been making quite a few things, which is really amazing, and just even to draw directly on the monitor itself has been huge for me. I'm such a visual person, and it's just the connection of actually drawing it on there. Since it is my first tablet like this, I think it's great for beginners. I have no idea how the other ones are. I've tried a couple, but again, they never had the actual monitor on them, so I can't really give my feedback on it versus, say, the Cintiqs and stuff. So maybe one day I'll get my hands on a Cintiq and actually give a comparison review. But other than that, it is really great. I know I've listed a little bit of negatives, but I do actually really enjoy it. I'll be leaving for Edmonton soon and I won't be able to bring it, and I know it's going to feel really weird. I didn't realize how much I really need, or not need, but want two screens. It's really nice when you're working, and I'm one of those people, I like to, while I'm designing and working, I'll have YouTube videos off on the side, or just having my emails out on the side. Just having everything there is just so nice. And since it's like super wide, I just feel like I can edit things a little bit nicer and I can see what's going on. So I just keep like the basics on my laptop and I have all my creative stuff on the tablet, which is super nice. So it kind of balances, so I'm not closing and minimizing a shit ton of screens, because that's what your girl does. There is a little bit of a lag when you're using the pen, but I haven't noticed it to be too bad. And even the sensitivity, I don't mind. I know a lot of people, especially like the artists that do like actual paintings and like beautiful art, on like Illustrator and stuff, they were really commenting on how it didn't have as much of a range in like your pressure sensitivity. I don't really notice it because I'm just doing like basic vectors and like very basic drawing. Like, I think for what I'm using it for, it's perfect. But I could see if someone was again, one of those artists that do like the beautiful paintings, that could be a factor. But there are plenty of reviews by those kinds of artists that have like actually drawing it as they go, which I think might be useful for some people. So if you're looking to get this and you're an artist, I would definitely Google it and see kind of that side of it as well. So overall, I really enjoy my Huion GT-185 tablet. I am super glad that I decided to get this instead of just a plain old monitor. I do feel like it has helped increase my productivity. It also helped my creativity as well, because just the fact that I'm able to draw directly on it, and I'm still learning it, it's still a little bit of a learning curve. Hopefully one day I'll figure out what's going on with my pen and the side keys and get it working, but Other than that, I do recommend, if you are like me and you are super frugal, this is a great buy, especially if it's your first one. If you do want to get the Cintiq and you have the money for it, go right ahead. Again, for me, it was just something that I really wanted to get for myself, and I definitely do not regret it. And if you have any questions, or you kind of want to see some of the work that I've done on the Huion GT-185, just send me a message. I'll have my Instagram below, I'll have my work email. Just send me an email, send me a message, and I will get back to you. Other than that, thank you guys so much for tuning back into the review portion of the Huion GT-185 tech review. You guys are absolutely amazing, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe, it would mean a lot.